Okay, so we're going to look at a different model that shows, again, blood vessels and nephron interfacing with one another. So let's slide back to this guy for a moment. All right, so we were looking at this supersized version of the capsule and the glomerulus. Just for clarification, the whole thing, you'll see in the textbook, it's referred to, the whole thing is referred to as the renal corpuscle. Renal corpuscle. Renal corpuscle means the glomerulus with the afferent and efferent arteriole inside the capsule, okay, the glomerular capsule or the Bowman's capsule, with the space, with a little bit of the PCT, with the DCT, kissing up against the afferent, the juxtaglomerular apparatus. That's the renal corpuscle, this whole zone. The rest of the tube is called the renal tubule. Renal tubule. All right, just to clarify. One other thing to point out here. Notice that here on the glomerulus, the blood vessel is exposed, and on this side of the glomerulus, it seems like it's covered in a yellow cell. Well, there is a cell that covers and lives on the cells that make up the wall of the blood vessel. These are called podocytes. Podocytes cover the glomerulus. Podocytes regulate the amount and flow of fluid, plasma, out of the glomerulus into the capsular space. This is known as a podocyte. The little blue is its nucleus, and you can see the little jagged or finger-like edges of the cell. That's a podocyte. All right, let's slide over here. So here, in green, we have the renal corpuscle. That's the whole thing, with the glomerulus inside, the afferent, the efferent, the whole thing. Here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one. Right? The one that we want to look at is either this one, or this one, because these are attached to what we call renal tubules. These are not. This just has afferent in, efferent out, no tubule. Afferent in, efferent out, no tubule. All right, so let's look at this one, where we have our cortical radii coming up, an afferent vessel coming off, going into the renal corpuscle, and inside there would be the glomerulus, and an efferent coming out. Afferent in, efferent out. You see the green? You see the orange coming off of it? Well, the first tubular part that comes off of the corpuscle is the proximal convoluted tubule. So in orange, we have all proximal convoluted tubule, which then descends, becomes the descending limb, then the loop, and then it turns purple, ascending limb, and then all this purple is the distal. Now, I say purple because we can see a little bit of it left. Most of the paint has been worn off. Okay? We're accepting contributions for new models. Right? ncc.edu. So, the purple is the DCT, distal convoluted tubule, leading to the collecting duct. Okay, and here's the collecting duct running down, 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 down. And this is another collecting duct next to it, which is draining other nephrons. And this would be the papillary duct right here. And in this papillary duct, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 collecting ducts going into the papillary. And that would lead eventually to the minor calyx. Now, blood vessels. We have the afferent going in, the efferent coming out. And then notice it becomes a capillary bed. And you see this capillary bed, it seems to continue and wrap around this one over here. It would probably come up and continue and wrap around up here. This would be peritubular capillaries. Okay, wrapping around the tubes. Now, this is a short nephron. Okay, that's cortical nephron. This is a longer nephron, juxtaglomerular nephron. Notice that there's some capillary beds down here. All right, similar to what we saw up top, but down here. So on a juxtaglomerular nephron, long one, we're going to have what's known as vasa recta, capillaries surrounding the long descending and ascending component. And then here at the upper part of it, we'll have peritubular. So we're going to call this vasa recta, and we're going to call this peritubular capillaries up here. And then ultimately, the capillaries feed the cells, and the capillary will lead to a venule, and the venule will lead to the veins leaving the kidney.